That brings me now. We're gonna get a little political on you.
Oh no!
But,
Great.
But we're still in the context of sock puppetry and social justice. So check this out. This is actually really interesting. This is a story from the Washington Free Beacon. Woke talking points cost Gillibrand primary support.
Oh snap!
I said this. Progressive rhetoric loses politicians' support. New study argues. It feels good to be vindicated.
Yes, it does.
I've been saying for a long time, this is fringe political BS. Social justice nonsense will not work, but for some reason, they just went for it. So in the context of how, social media is being manipulated, and they're putting these fringe opinions out there, they're actually lighting themselves on fire.
Yep.
I have to wonder if the real goal is to make people like you vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, do you know what black propaganda is?
No. I saw you mention in a tweet.
Yeah. There's white, gray, and black.
Okay.
White propaganda is overt. It would be like me holding up a sign saying Adam sucks.
Okay.
Gray propaganda would be a sign that just says, Adam Krigler is a bad musician. You don't know who it comes from, and it's a negative opinion.
Okay.
And then black propaganda would be someone saying, like, Adam Krigler is the best. I love him because he's racist. So the goal of black propaganda is to pretend to be the enemy and then look stupid.
Okay.
Or look really bad, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's so that people will associate your opponent with whatever stupid idea you've put forward to accuse them of. So it would be like, wearing a Trump shirt and then going around, like we've seen it. People will put like a Trump shirt on and go around and say a bunch of racist things.
I was thinking this. I saw this dude who was it was some rally or something. And it was for the Democrats, right? And he had this swastika on his shirt that said Trump and Pence. And he was like waving a flag around, like yelling at people. And then someone took a picture of him. And then later on, they saw the same picture of the guy, like
at a Bernie rally,
wearing the same rally. The dude like put his jacket on and then like put the sign down and then like had his Democrat flag.
Right.
It was like, what? So you just staged yourself to look like that's
exactly. Called black propaganda.
Terrible.
We are going to get a ton of it across the board, and it is going to be like April Fool's Day on crack.
But you know what? We'll be here calling them out.
Yeah, I guess. Well, we're stuck in the muck and the mire.
I know you're better at it than me. I mean, I'm not that deep into politics, but
the nightmarish reality of it is that, everything could be fake. Mm-hmm. It's somebody made a joke a while ago, like, what if all of these like SJW leftists are actually right wingers trying to make the leftists look bad, and then all of the fringe like far right people are actually leftists trying to make the right look bad, and meanwhile the regular people are like,
what are you guys doing?
Yeah. So this is funny. The funny thing about the Gillibrand stuff, and I'll talk about this, and then we'll talk about more black propaganda, is that this was obvious to everybody. She ran her primary campaign for the Democrats going woke as possible.
Okay.
There was like some weird candid video where she's in a bar and she's like sitting there bobbing and she goes, "Gay rights." It's like,
oh, so cringy.
That was a commercial?
No, it was like someone just posted a video of her doing it. It's like, I don't.
Wait, no. So she just literally was doing that?
Yes.
She was at a bar.
Just like bobbing her head.
Was she by herself too?
Yeah, it looked like it.
Someone's got a camera on her?
Yep.
Gay rights.
Yep.
I mean, I'm all for gay rights, but that's hilarious.
It's so
I don't know
fake.
anybody who sat in a bar by themselves.
There were people around her dancing and stuff.
Woo!
But she's like in a bar. I don't know what she was doing.
It's funny.
So she really, really tried.
It sounded like a photo op. She's like, "Oh, someone get this video. I'm about to rock this sentence out. Check the sentence out. Boom."
Yeah.
You know what? The problem I have with it is.
Yeah. What?
It's that one thing I really can't stand is inefficiency.
Okay.
Like when I see someone doing something wrong, like I want to be like, "Yo, stop! Like let me just do it. Stop what you're doing. Like you're doing it wrong. You've got it upside down. No, you got to flip it around. Like let me just do it. Give me the thing."
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So
give it to me. I'll do it myself.
Yeah, right. Like I can't stand watching people like trying to stick a square peg in a round hole. And
Trust
like,
me, I'm the same way.
Hammer.
I'm like, "Hey, you're doing that wrong," and everyone's like, "I don't care. I'm gonna do it the way I want to do it." It's
like, let me do it.
No, because then I'm just gonna have to fix it when you're done anyway, because you're not doing it right.
Oh man, you guys.
That's why when it comes to issues of like carpentry stuff, I'm like, I'm not even gonna do anything. I'm just gonna call Adam now.
Hey, Adam.
Because
Adam, do this.
Well, because I'll tell you what happens.
All right.
I'll be like, I'm going to hang this, and then Adam will come down and be like, "Oh, bro, you missed the stud." Like, no, I gotta fix it. And I'm like, "All right, dude, I'm just not even gonna bother. Like, you know it better than I do, so I'll just hand it off to you."
Oh man.
But with Gillibrand, it was like watching someone set themselves on fire, and I'm just like, I saw it at Fusion when I worked there. This company had
they went nuts, right?
They had hundreds of millions of dollars. They were like, we're going to do a media company and we want to be, you know, like nonpartisan and like Vice. And they had posters on the walls that said, we will not be partisan and stuff.
Seriously?
I kid you not. And then all of a sudden...
I mean, I know what happened. That's why I'm laughing.
Yeah, someone convinced them, like, have you considered getting woke?
How about
Man.
partisanship?
Maybe you should take those posters down.
There are some
and get
really,
woke.
really embarrassing things this company did.
Really?
Really, really embarrassing things. So, like, apparently, I got to be very careful in the details, but there was, like, a high-level meeting where this high-level person is supposed to be talking to a bunch of other, like, marketing, like, advertising people to, like, sell content.
Okay.
And when they were asked what was, like, their mission, this person's like, gender.
What?
And I'm not.
Wait,
So
what?
I'm trying to be careful here. It's like
gay rights?
all right, I'm just gonna say it. I might get in trouble, but basically they were producing this like sales pitch, and the high-ranking person was asked like, "What's the next big, you know, story, the big narrative?" And he said, "Gender," and that was supposed to be sent out to advertising companies like, you know, Coke and Pepsi or whatever. That's
Okay.
what I was told. I could be wrong, but I was told this by like one of the higher ups who were like face palming, like, "What are they doing?
Yeah.
What do you think's gonna happen if you went to a meeting with like Coke, and Coke was like, we want to sell more soda. What can you do for us? Gender." I'm sorry, I'm not sure what that means.
Not tracking.
Infinite
just
genders.
go with it.
I don't know.
They thought they were young and edgy or something. You know what I think it was for a lot of these companies? I was actually told this by one of these consultant marketing guys who said, if you want a company that starts today and is successful in 5 years, you got to look at what young people are talking about and then track that, and then basically in 5 years, you'll
Right.
be that source.
Ah.
And I said, the people talking about that are like a microscopic fraction of this country, and you're looking at the squeaky wheel.
Yeah.
Regular people watch Dave Chappelle and Joe Rogan.
It's true.
And they're opposed to this stuff. They lit themselves on fire, flush down the toilet.
Coca-Cola, good for any gender.
Yeah,
There's
no, it doesn't have that. Certain
There's like
No.
a meme about how all these companies. No, what was that Monopoly thing? You see that commercial for Monopoly?
Oh my! I couldn't believe it was actually a Monopoly
know
commercial.
what it
That was
was.
awesome. That was awesome.
I still don't believe it.
Well, let's get some
actually.
context to the people.
Oh my god!
So there was a commercial, and it was like, female engineers need to be encouraged, and it shows like a little girl, and she's like, I designed this, you know, robot or whatever.
There's like
and-
3 or 4 different girls that
Right.
are like young and like want to be scientists.
Yep. And it's like
Inventors.
it's 3 minutes of talking about equal rights and encouraging women.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden there's a scene where it's like, that's why we did this, and it shows a woman hand a present to this little girl, and she opens
Hey,
it.
where did this come from? I don't know. Let's all sit in the couch and
Yep.
and watch you open it together. And they're all like sitting around as a family as the girl sits and opens it.
It became a game.
Yeah.
The game was to post the video and say, guess what they're promoting.
Yep.
Yep.
That's
And
what I
then
did
you're
with it.
watching it going like, what could this be? And then when she opens the package and it's Miss Monopoly.
Like, what?
Miss Monopoly.
Miss Monopoly. What? It's the most backwards, insane
Such a
thing.
non-sequitur.
I would never have guessed it.
Here's how
ever.
the game, here's
Not-
how the
not
game
ever.
works.
Never.
The game works by like men get less money than women
Oh.
when they pass go.
Okay.
So it's like they want
Wait, the original Monopoly actually has equal rights.
everyone's equal.
Yep.
And this game was handicapping women. To prove equality, we're gonna handicap them.
Cool.
Wow.
Like, or we're gonna give them a handicap, I should
Yeah.
say, not handicap. The men will be handicapped. We'll give the benefit to the women. It sends the opposite message.
It does. That's true.
We live
That
in.
women need more help. Is that what
you
it's
know
saying?
you know what it is,
That's
man.
exactly what it's saying.
It's that people
It's ridiculous.
people are stupid.
Oh, is
We're
that it?
stupid. People are dumb.
Thank you for solving that. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a point. He's got a
Imagine
point.
imagine what communism would be like. All of these people, you know, it's like at
Like
least
the Monopoly version or what?
no. What I mean is, no, the socialist monopoly is dumb. I tried playing it, but
No, but how would the communist version go?
I'm not talking about monopoly. I'm talking about real life.
I know.
I'm talking about how we can watch them fail and laugh,
Mm-hmm.
and no one's hurt by it. They launched a really stupid commercial. Everyone made fun of them.
Wow.
I'm sure they sold some of them, but they mocked and they were berated. Under a command economy, you have these ideologues in government being like, nope, we're going to keep making it anyway. Reminds me of the Futurama episode. I love citing Futurama.
Yes, you do.
Where they go to the Amazon planet.
Snoo snoo?
Yeah, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
and they see them playing basketball.
Yeah.
and the woman's like, they no can dunk, but good fundamentals.
Yeah.
Like the point is supporting something that they don't like
Mm-hmm.
because it's like emotionally, you know.
Yeah.
So you have in capitalism, things can fail, and we
Yep.
can laugh about it.
True.
In communism, no, you get one ideologue who's going to be like, make Miss Monopoly. Sir, nobody wants it. Don't care. Keep making it. And then you just waste resources and light things on fire.
Yeah.
Speaking of, and I'm only going to say this very briefly, but we were talking earlier about like universal health care.
Oh, really?
And how the post office was awful. And then I said, imagine getting your health care through the post office system.
Right.
Imagine getting your health care through the DMV. I want everyone to think about universal health care.
I think I'm good.
And then I want to imagine going to the DMV, but instead of trying to get your license done or, copied or whatever, you're trying to get life-saving surgery.
Oh my gosh.
Bro, I went to the DMV.
No thanks.
I went to the DMV to get my car license plate, and they gave me a trailer plate. And I didn't know what it meant.
Trailer plate?
Yeah, for like a hitched trailer you put on the back of a car.
Yeah.
I didn't know. So in Florida, you only need, I'm pretty sure in Florida, you only need a plate in the back. So they gave me one plate. It said trailer. And I was like, is this right? And she's like, you're all good. And I'm like, okay. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Because it's the first time I gotten a license plate in Jersey.
Yeah.
So I assumed you needed one plate in the back. And it said trailer because it was the back of the car or something.
Yeah.
And so then I came back and I put it on and went about my business. And then I walked inside and I'm like, that can't be right.
Yeah.
So I went online and looked it up. And I was like, oh, man.
You dumb.
I had to go back.
That sucks.
And it's like dealing with the DMV, waiting in line. Oh, dude, talk about a nightmare.
Twice as
Well,
nice.
let's go back to the black propaganda thing.
I
So
guess.
when you see Kristen Gillibrand yelling gay rights or whatever,
Yeah.
and you see all of these people and all these media companies, I wonder if the goal was to destroy them.
You know what? Every time we have different conversations about different points, of the whole bubble of politics, and the more you say it, the more it does make sense that they're just trying to sabotage themselves.
Not themselves, but there's people trying to destroy them.
Ah, okay.
Like this, Fusion wants to start a company. ABC and Univision have this plan. They put in hundreds of millions of dollars, and then they start looking for consultants. And someone comes in and thinks, "How can I destroy this company?" What makes me curious is there was very, very heavy Hillary Clinton influence in what Fusion was doing.
Okay.
So I'll be very, very careful about how far I go with that. But big, powerful donors. There was it was in the family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had to wonder if one of the reasons they decided to go full on feminist was because they wanted to create a narrative so that when Hillary Clinton ran, they'd be like,
we are for her.
But I don't, a lot of people would argue it's a big conspiracy theory. I was like, it's not a conspiracy theory for this big Hillary Clinton donor to pay for media. Like, it's marketing. That's just regular old marketing.
Yep.
They put money in and say, write stories that make her look good. They do that all the time. So I had to wonder if that was the goal. A lot of people told me it wasn't. They were just trying to make money.
Sure.
And I'm like, but why would you make content that's only for women then? Why wouldn't you make content,
But they were making money doing what they were doing. Why would they change that up?
They weren't making money.
Oh, I thought you said they were doing fine. Like,
when they first started, they were trying to figure things out.
they were just funded. That's what you said.
And then they started, they had consultants come in and tell them to do something.
Yeah.
And they flushed themselves down the toilet and burned all the money.
Yep.
But when it comes to the internet and like people like Gillibrand and stuff, I have to wonder if one of the reasons the left can't succeed is because black propaganda. Like, if all this cancel culture stuff is just people trying to make sure they can never succeed. I think about it in terms of real leftist anti-establishment activists.
Okay.
You can see people like Matt Taibbi, for instance. He wrote this article. He's a journalist. He's a lefty. He wrote an article saying the Democrats have abandoned civil liberties. He's a real like moderate lefty guy.
It
Like,
certainly seems that way nowadays.
right. He talked about how he used to align with the Democrats, and now he sees them as like they've gone nuts.
Yep.
And so have many other people. Activists know the lengths that the feds have gone to disrupt, activist organizations. What's the easiest way to totally discredit left-wing anti-establishment organizations?
Get in there.
Get in there and
Yep.
screech and throw bricks and cheer on all the really, really awful stuff.
Yep.
And then create this narrative and damage them. Now, I think they do it to themselves if they're that easily susceptible to this kind of manipulation. But you get people to go online and say something like, "I'm voting for Bernie Sanders. By the way, I hate all and name a group."
Yeah.
Or push that narrative, or do what Kirsten Gillibrand. She fell for it, I guess. I don't know.
man.
I don't know what to tell you, man. That was so obvious. She was gonna fail.
Yep.
Well, anyway, we're going to be in the thick of things. I hope you are all excited for the roller coaster ride that will be 2020s.
I know I am. I'm looking forward to it.
Dude, they're going to call you all the names in the book.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be great, Adam.
This vegan skateboarder
I don't
is
care.
the epitome of far right.
Man, I've been called all sorts of things throughout my life. I just don't
man.
care.
Yep, that's what
I
you gotta
don't
do. That's what you
care.
gotta do,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Yeah, bring it
Like-
on. You either like me or you don't like me, and that's how it goes.
But they do it to try and scare you, to destroy your life. They're
if you're susceptible to that,
yes.
right?
Without naming any specific individual, there are people who would make content that was like anti-SJW, moderate, not super political, but like anti, in the culture war,
Okay.
anti-SJW. And then once they got their careers threatened, immediately started saying, oh, but I'm actually left-wing. And then totally just slowly sneaking in. And then there are people on the who do the same.
Flipping it.
But then there are people in the middle who do the same thing,
Okay.
and then slowly become more and more right-wing and start entertaining more conservative and right-wing positions. And it's because they're getting what's called a love bomb from the right.
Okay.
And so that's like the ongoing phenomenon right now of the culture war.
The love bomb. Come have some beers.
Yep.
Yep.
And then everyone's response to that is like, I know which side I would go to.
Yeah.
Right,
The
of
side where it's like,
course.
have a beer with me.
That makes sense.
Not the one that's screeching and trying to destroy me.
Yeah.
But some people fall for it. There's some high-profile progressives who made pretty good progressive but fair content until they got attacked and got canceled. And then all of a sudden, they started towing the line
Yep.
and saying all the stupid SJW stuff. And I'm like,
It was too late.
no, they're losers.
Yeah.
They're people I used to follow and promote. I don't promote them anymore.
Sad.
Because I'm like, you used to call it out. Like, if you believe in universal healthcare and you want to have an argument about what I just said about the DMV, and there's real arguments against that. Just because the DMV is bad doesn't mean you can't make a system for universal healthcare that works properly.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of problems to it. I lean towards more of a public option because you need competition. And I think we talked about this, like, there could be emergency care is universal.
Right.
Specialty stuff
Like
is
breaking your leg.
Right.
You can go get it taken care of.
Right.
But if you ate
Chemotherapy
ate
or-
crap for your entire life and got, and drank alcohol and then got some sort of weird cancer that was from that, it's like you have to pay for that.
Yeah.
You did that to
Treated
yourself.
differently,
So
yeah.
if you want to make have a real conversation and a fair argument and stuff, like I'm totally down. But it seems like that doesn't really exist for the most part because the screeching rees,
Yep.
the social justice warriors, prevent these kind of conversations and make sure everyone's just. Maybe it's just humans, man. Maybe it's just how we are.
Not as a whole. I think you can't stop some people from being that way, though. That's just going to be the way it is.
This is what I was saying about the media. They cheat,
Mm-hmm.
and cheaters win.
Yep.
You know, it's funny. What do they say? Cheaters never win. Is that what I was told that when I was younger?
Winners never cheat. Cheaters never win.
That's not true at
I
all.
know,
That is
right?
a lie.
Cheaters
Cheaters win
win.
all the time, and the smart ones never get caught.
And what about that? What is that line? History is written by the winners.
Yeah, it's true.
And it is.
Technically
I know,
true.
exactly.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I
Yeah.
mean, he was right, although
Bill
it's
Barr said
bad
it.
timing. But
No,
Yeah.
the full context of his statement was he laughed and said he was asked, how will history look back on what happened, and he laughed and said, well, history is written by the winner, so I guess we can see, but I think it'll look favorably on us because we upheld the rule of law.
Right.
And then Chuck Todd said he didn't even argue that he upheld the rule of law. That was the problem. He literally lied about what Bill Barr actually said and took a snippet.
yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
fake news. They get away
Fake
with it.
news.
They make money, and the controversy is still good for them. You know why? There are people who don't care they're lying. They like that they're lying.
yeah, that's true.
Because they're like,
what you just said fits what I believe, so it vindicates what I believe. Now I can yell louder
Yes.
not even that.
because I have
Yeah.
proof.
I have
not,
a link.
Not even that. It's like they believe that they're justified in lying to convert people. Because
I would say both.
because the ends justify the means.
It's a religion.
Both.
So when Chuck Todd lies,
Mm-hmm.
they know he's lying and they go, good, because it'll convert more people.
And I don't think everyone knows that they're lying. I think some people just want to believe it. And they're like, oh,
Credulous.
he's
Yeah.
saying
Of
what I
course.
believe, so
But the dude, Matthew Iglesias of Vox.com, once wrote that progressive messaging had successfully convinced people they had not received a tax break when they really did.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a success, a messaging success.
That is amazing.
He celebrated the fact that they had successfully lied to people and tricked them into hating Trump for something he actually helped them on.
wow.
Yeah,
That's,
welcome. And how do you think it's going to get moving into November?
I mean, people are becoming aware. They're seeing all this stuff. The mainstream media is losing its. I feel like it's falling
Totally.
through their fingers, and they're like, what do we do now? What do we do now?
Oh,
Yeah.
CNN's gone full reality TV.
Are they?
Good stuff.
Yeah, so we talked about the Greta thing, right?
Yeah.
Anderson Cooper went on some tirade where he's like, Donnie Trump Jr. wants to, drag us. Shouldn't he be running his companies? And I'm like, why is Anderson Cooper getting into a internet style flame war with Donald Trump Jr. over like a tweet?
Why?
Trump Jr. tweeted about Greta, so Anderson Cooper dedicated a segment to just like on
Seriously, it was like a segment on CNN.
It was a short bit where he ragged on like the online outrage machine over the Greta Thunberg thing.
Oh.
And I'm like, they love it. They're so happy.
Yeah, they are.
Jeff Zucker, the president of CNN, was a reality TV guy. It's probably why they brought him on.
Yeah.
They were like, look, man, news doesn't work anymore. You know what it reminds me of?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when people were complaining about MTV no longer doing music?
Yeah.
MTV
I was just thinking about MTV. I'm like, yeah, MTV used to be awesome in the 90s.
It was all music videos.
Yeah.
And then you had like MTV News.
Yeah.
Slowly, they started adding these reality TV programs. And then eventually,
That's all it is.
no more music videos.
Yeah.
And I remember that period where they were doing like TRL, like Total Request Live.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even show the whole music video. It would be like a minute and a half of it.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, this is crazy. Like they're thinking like, we got to kind of do it, but we're not going to do it.
Yeah, right.
But then
that was like the early aughts where it started changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a post someone made it was like a viral post. I can't remember where it was. But someone said, you don't even watch MTV anymore, and you're complaining that they found a new audience that's more receptive to a different kind of content. Just face it, you've grown out of what they offered. There's other ways to get music. There's easier ways to get music, so they've changed.
Yeah, it's kind of true.
You had the internet.
It's true.
So why complain about the fact that they've changed? The problem with CNN is they're supposed to be, quote, the most trusted name in news.
Yes,
They're
reliable
not.
sources.
I can't hear that and not laugh.
I know.
Yeah, I
right?
know.
It's really
You ever see the commercial where like, this is an apple. Some people will tell you it's a banana or something like that.
No.
It's the cringiest,
Oh, it's-
stupidest.
Who tells anyone that an apple is a banana?
CNN.
CNN.
I've never
CNN
heard
does.
CNN.
Yeah.
They're the only ones.
Yep,
Yep.
that would be them.
That's what they've become.
Oh,
and so,
sad.
look, I don't care.
Jeez.
So here's where I draw the line when I was talking about like, we're complaining about them complaining about Rick and Morty.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the difference is we're calling them out for lying.
Yeah.
And I think that's fair. And when we do opinion segments, we're just two dudes hanging out in a home studio talking about how we feel with people who share similar feelings.
And Lydia.
And me
I
also.
got you, Lydia.
Oh, right,
Thanks,
right.
Adam.
That's
I
right.
am- I am
Three
over
people.
here
Lydia exists.
Two dudes
theory.
and Lydia.
And also
Right.
Lydia. Yeah.
But CNN is supposed to be telling us the facts.
Yeah.
They're not.
They're not. No.
They're not. You know what it is? They can't compete with us.
Nope.
So they...
Because we got true fans. Where's my camera?
That's
yeah.
right. There we go.
That's
yeah,
right.
We love
you guys are
We
great.
appreciate you
And
guys.
CNN
Talking about you fans.
and CNN has to pay the airport.
Yeah.
I'm not
I know,
kidding.
right? They do. They have to
know
pay them
that-
to air it.
that's
Crazy.
embarrassing.
So weird.
CNN pays
Oh,
airports to put them on the
Yeah,
screen.
next time you're stuck in an airport, think about that.
So anyway, we got. I want to talk about space. So let me just
Yes.
wrap this up and say, there's going to be a ton of people banned. There's going to be social media suppression.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see brigade campaigns. So recently on Reddit, and I want to be very careful, so I'm going to avoid calling out specific people, but there have been brigade campaigns. What they'll do is they try to pretend like they're fans of yours that are disheartened.
Okay.
It's like, I used to be such a biggest fan of Adam. Well, you really changed, Adam. I think you got to get back to reality and start talking about, about why the Republicans are bad. I think you've lost sight of reality. Things like that.
Okay.
It's very obvious, but that's the attempt to manipulate you.
Mm-hmm.
So that it's part of the black propaganda thing. You might go on Twitter one day and see like 50 messages where they're like, bro, dude, I love you, man. That show's awesome. But hey, when you mentioned this thing, it's not cool. And then you see all these messages and think everyone's mad at you, and you go, oh, I better not say that again. It's a trick.
Yep.
I don't even check my notifications. I'm like,
Don't
I don't
get
care,
tricked.
dude.
Don't. Yeah.
Don't care.
Absolutely don't.
Don't care what you think.
people have tagged me with some funny stuff that they straight up tell me they hate me. And,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
Oh, all right.
Like, that's cool. Thanks for taking the
Well
time
then,
to
yeah.
at least hit me up. That's great.
You know what I always say? When I was little, I was told the opposite of love isn't hate; it's indifference.
Okay.
Because it is. Like indifference is like you care, you don't even think about the person.
Right.
Love and hate are both very powerful emotions.
Yeah,
you
you're,
can,
you're thinking about me. You're
but
thinking about me.
you can
That's
love
right.
someone
You can hate me, but you're still thinking about
You
me.
can hate someone you love. Like you can actually love someone, but just hate them.
That's a good point.
It's true. So they're not opposites.
Yeah.
So if somebody says they hate you, then you've successfully won. You've won them over in some capacity.
You're now in their hearts.
That's right. You're in
You
their
are.
head.
Forever.
Rent
Yep.
free.
rent free in their heads. And so
Nice.
I always, I always say things like, I'm when people tweet at me and say nasty things and go on Facebook,
Yeah.
I'm like, my honest feeling about this is a weird sense of like accomplishment.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, like growing up, being a high school dropout, and now getting to the point where there are all these people that feel like I'm important enough to where they have to complain about me to their friends.
That's
It's kind of a
cool.
crazy feeling. Like
It's kind of like free advertising also.
It
Because then their
is.
friends are like, who is this
Who is
guy?
this guy?"
I got to
Well-
check out this Tim Pool guy.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, he's pretty good.
That's
But it's also like
he's not bad.
when I'm in New York,
Mm-hmm.
and there's I would say for the most part, the people who recognize me are like, "Yo, dude, you're awesome."
Yeah, the
But I
movies.
peer-
The guy was like, are you Tim Pool?
I'm like, I live right here, dude, like
So
a block away
funny.
from my house.
He freaked out.
That was cool.
Great.
I was
So
like, oh,
cute.
Oh,
no, the
movies.
craziest thing was when I was in Iceland, and I was in this middle of nowhere in
Oh,
Iceland.
yeah, I remember this
And I went to
story,
a
yeah.
burger joint, and two guys walked in. They stopped and they're like, "Are you Tim Pool?" And I was like,
Dude, I'm sorry.
"Bro."
Sorry, no. Nothing beats Billy Corgan. He's going, Tim Pool.
Oh yeah.
I met Billy Corgan. He's
That
cool dude.
that's like
Yeah,
the
Did
I
top,
tell that
the
story?
icing on the
Was-
cake. You did tell the story, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the icing of the cake.
The first time
yeah.
I met Billy Corgan, I was all excited because I grew up listening to the Pumpkins, and he was standing there, and then as I was being introduced, he stops and goes, "Hey, you're Tim Pool, right? I watch your videos," and I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
I was like, "That's so cool,
That's
dude."
huge, man.
Yeah, rad. I was at
So
a
cool.
premiere for one of his new albums. That dude's cool. Apparently, he's like someone mentioned he saw someone turn into a lizard. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know about all that, but Billy Corgan, Smashing Pumpkins, great band. So no, but anyway, I
Agreed.
I forgot what I was trying to bring up when I mentioned
Sorry, I threw you off there.
being recognized because I wasn't trying to make
You're
it
talking
about
about
me.
living rent free in their heads.
Yeah. I was gonna say
Haters.
when people
Something.
when people in New York yell "F you, Tim Pool," I'm like, man, that guy really cares.
Yeah.
Thank
know?
you, dude.
He really cares.
Yeah.
Yep.
I appreciate
Yep.
that.
It's like,
It's funny, the guy who said that he hates me, he like did this whole rant. And then I click on his profile. I was like, who's this guy? Let me see this. And it says hashtag stop bullying.
oh, I freaking
That's
love it.
That was in
There
his
it is.
profile. I was like, oh,
sounds like an
good job.
SJW.
Good
Love
for you,
Trump
sir.
hate.
Good for you,
Yeah.
sir.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. If you want to catch the full show, tune in to this channel, subscribe, hit the like button, or check us out on iTunes and Spotify. And we will soon have this podcast up for free on all podcast platforms. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all in the next episode.